Welcome everyone to the Power Core Podcast, where we discuss, review, and fanboy over anything and everything Marvel Strike Force. Now, get ready for two of the most mediocre gamers in the cosmos. It's your hosts, Hebrew Hammer and the Irishman.
What's up, guys, and welcome to episode number 8 of the Power Core Podcast. I am your host, Hebrew Hammer, and I am joined, as always, by my co-host, the Irishman.
Hey, everyone.
We have a decently long episode for you this time. We were trying to make it really short. We were talking all week about how we wanted to make it short, but then we have so many new things.
If I can interject, I'm just going to be honest. If they keep coming out with all this stuff like this consistently, like our goal is to get it to 30 minutes, like that would be in a perfect world, but they just keep releasing content like this. Like I don't see that happening in the near future. Like you did speak of a lull that's coming in, so hopefully,
yes.
And we don't want to make it last longer than it needs to be. So basically, we're going to try to cut it down as much as we can. So.
Yeah, we trim the fat. All right, so why don't you go ahead and tell us what's on the docket for today?
Cool. So for the news, we've got some Discord and some just general podcast news. A couple new orbs hit the store, and then, of course, I'm sure everyone's seen there is a group blitz that is now live. Hopefully you guys are making a lot of progress in the blitz right now. From there, we're going to move on to our main topics, which will include the Rocket event, level cap increase, balance improvements, the Star-Lord event coming soon, hand event, and then we'll address some of the community complaints. And then for our character deep dive, we're going to go into Luke Cage. Finally. We're going into Luke Cage, baby. Here we go. And then we'll round it out with our question of the day.
All right, well, then let's go ahead and dive right in. The new stuff, that's pretty quick. Just to go briefly over the Discord and podcast news. So first of all, we now have our Spotify up. So we were finally accepted. So we have that. Our YouTube channel is also up, so you can find us and subscribe to us on there if you'd like. And Discord's up and running. We have a lot of new members, real cool people. If you want to join, www.discord.me/PowerCore Podcast. And as far as the podcast host site, we did go ahead and officially switch over to Podbean. So we're still on SoundCloud, but our host site is on Podbean. So if you're using an RSS feed or anything like that, it will be directed from Podbean now instead.
The other thing is, when it comes to SoundCloud, is the episodes are going to fall off as data runs out. Because we're not going to pay for the SoundCloud portion. So you should be able to see like the last 3 or 4 episodes in there.
Yeah, last 3 or 4 episodes.
But if you want to get a full archive of everything, you want to go to Podbean and type in that new RSS into your
it looks really nice
catcher.
too. I like it.
It looks great. So.
All right, so let's go ahead and move to the next thing. Why don't you go ahead and take it away with that?
All right, so the next thing is there is the hand orbs that have been released. So if you're looking to drop some change on some hand orbs, there's that's great, and it's to get everyone prepared for the hand event that's coming up. Yeah, which that'll include being able to gather catalysts. Right?
Yeah,
is there anything
a bit? We'll go into it a bit more in a little bit, but
cool. So so that's kind of to get people prepared for that. Of course, I'm sure a lot of people have seen there are Groot orbs. I don't know how long those Groot orbs are going to last in the store. So if you are a Groot freak like I am, make sure you grab up as many Groot orbs as you can. And then they just launched the Gentle Giant Blitz. Featuring Groot. And so hopefully a lot of our listeners are going to get in the top 10%. Maybe a couple of listeners get in the top 500. Let us know if you do get in the top 500.
I'm one of the people that's potentially going for the top 500.
He's going for it.
I'm deciding tonight if I want to finish up going for it or not. But,
and there is that $10 offer in there, so you can do Blitz refreshes. You don't need that. Something tells me Groot's going to be a little popular in the Blitz. So.
I'm expecting somewhere around, honestly, like 1.5 mil.
Really?
Is what I'm expecting, yeah.
What was the last one at?
The last one was a little over 1 mil for top 500. That was for Mordo on his first release. Okay. And that was kind of an underwhelming character. Groot's
Groot,
with the Rocket Synergy and the Rocket event coming. Like, I just see that being jumping up right to like 1.34 at least, and I'm going 1.5 to be safe.
Yeah. Full disclosure, and this isn't a brag, I promise, but I do have Groot right now.
It's a guilty brag.
It's a very guilty brag. And I've got him up to 4 stars, and he is a lot of fun.
How'd you do that?
I don't know. I don't want to talk about it. But no, Groot's one of my favorite characters in the comics, and I told myself I'd throw it down for
Sometimes
him. Sometimes
you got to ball out for the characters you love.
Yeah. So, but no, I've enjoyed him. I think he's great. I'm looking forward to talking about him more in depth next week.
Yeah, I mean, overall, like you love him, but I know where he falls on the tier list and stuff like that.
So, but no, he's super cool. Definitely recommend trying to get him if you can. So, but I know he's expensive at 100 shards. So, I do not blame you if you don't get him. That event will come back around. Do not worry. So,
All right. Well, then let's go ahead and hit the first main topic.
All right. So the first topic is the Rocket event called Rocket's Red Glare.
Oh yeah.
I think it's supposed to go in line with the 4th of July or something like that.
I guess, yeah.
So that's how people are justifying it.
Unless I'm missing some kind of subtle comic book reference or something, I'm not sure, but either way.
Yeah, I don't fully understand the red glare part, but whatever. So, but I'm super excited about this. I do think they got a lot of things right with this that they got wrong with Ant-Man.
Yeah.
I think part of the problem with Ant-Man, at least for me, I know a lot of people have a lot of opinions on this.
A lot.
But my biggest issue is throwing down like 100 energy and having nothing to show for it, right?
Yeah.
And I need that little dopamine rush, right? A little shot of dopamine. And that seems to be what they addressed in the most recent Rocket event, because they did double the drop rates from what the MSF official Reddit account has stated. But they did reduce the amounts.
Did they make an official statement?
Yeah, I saw that.
Oh.
So,
interesting. I never saw that.
It was a little quick comment. They were like, "Yeah, no, we officially did double the."
So they did double it, but they have to.
But they lowered the amount. But I'd rather have that and have more of a sure thing than
consistency.
Throwing it to the wind and hopefully it.
I agree. I mean, I think it ends up being around the same, but it does feel a little better.
Yeah,
and I think we can all agree that we would like it to be more.
I mean, I'd love for it to just not be RNG at all on the frag. I'd love for it to be guaranteed drops, but this is a nice compromise, I guess.
Yeah, if it's going to be like this, at least you'd rather have it this way. Kind of.
Yeah. So, but yeah, so that's kind of where they're at for me, and I'm enjoying it. I'm super excited to get Rocket. Hopefully by next week I will have Rocket, so I can talk a little more in depth about him.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to get my hopes up, so because he's 100 shards as well. So
Speaking of that, though, weird thing. So we all got the in-game email about the reduced cost for the refreshes, and I haven't seen.
It's still for me. It's the 350, and I've dropped right now because 2 days worth. So I've dropped 300 cores already, and each time it goes up to 100 on both of them. So I'm not sure what the difference is.
I don't think it must not be active yet or something, because unless they're talking about refreshes per node.
Or maybe they're talking as you get higher up, but I've never dropped
how
more
much higher are you getting? Yeah.
Well, I mean, I don't know if it's like once you hit 100, like you get 200s refreshes or something.
It's usually 3 and then 2 200s.
Okay.
If I remember correctly, that's.
I don't know. I'm not going to drop.
I'm not going to drop it to find out.
That. Yeah. I'd rather be a little more conservative in that respect. So.
Yeah, I did do some exploratory research and I did the 3 100s to get it to the 200 cost to see if anything was different, and it wasn't. So I don't know what's going on with it.
So hopefully they address that.
Yeah. Either way, I messaged support right afterwards and was like, "Hey, I dropped these cores. Give them back."
They're gonna be like, "Okay, we'll take your Rocket back." And like, no. Leave my shards.
And of course, I mean, I think that's only right that we do mention, part of the controversy around this one is that, which I wasn't even aware of until I saw a post about it on Reddit whenever this event came out. Apparently, a small portion of the population did get access to the Rocket Racoon event whenever at global launch.
Yeah.
I always thought that it was just beta, but apparently a small group got it at global launch. I had no idea, and I think that is pretty annoying.
Yeah,
It's still nothing to super freak out about, especially since it was a long time ago.
Yeah.
But that's a little annoying, and that left a little taste in my mouth. I was like, meh.
Yeah. No, I mean, I'm hoping that these events come around a lot more often than, say, the Deadpool raid or the Thanos raid.
And they're not altered as much as Thanos was.
Yeah. Oh, well, and that's the thing. The Thanos raid, the most recent one, isn't really a Thanos raid.
It's more of a mega orb raid, yeah.
Which they've got to work on their clarity when it comes to that kind of stuff. Like, I know it's
clarity in general for this game.
It said it in the message, but it's still, if the prior Thanos raid, you're able to farm Thanos shards, right? Then whenever you release another Thanos raid, people are already going to have that expectation without reading anything, right? And most people do not read their inbox like you and I do,
right?
So it's one of those things where it's kind of like, yeah, you did say that this was going to be a Mega Orb event, but it wasn't clear in that respect. So hopefully, they update the icon on it or something like that, and they just say featuring Thanos as a raid boss or something like that.
Right.
But make it an actual Mega Orb event,
Right.
So I think it's just a clarity issue right now, and hopefully they adjust, for the next time. So
yeah.
But yeah, hopefully when it comes to Rocket and Ant-Man, I'm expecting, there's going to be a lull between now and
between
and
Ant-Man and Venom,
and so Venom. I'm hoping that we see those campaigns come back, because I'm not going to lie, being able to farm all these advanced phosphates is great. So
yeah, I mean, honestly, like I really do love having 3 sources of energy to farm items, and I love having 950 core refreshes at my disposal.
Yeah.
I'm not going to use them all, but
it's nice to have.
Yeah, exactly. So I like that.
So hopefully, these things come around quite often until, a lot of people end up getting their rockets and their Ant-Man's upgraded.
Yeah, and I know that it sucks because of the previous expectations that were left from the Deadpool and the Thanos raid, and hopefully it will go back more towards that with future events. But if it doesn't, just remember these, take a more lackadaisical approach to it. Just remember that these things are always going to come back. You will get these characters eventually. Yeah. It's going to take a while, but
and my thing is always vote with your dollar. If you don't agree with something, then don't give them money, don't give them time. And I tell people, like, you can send in tickets, you can complain on forums. The most effective way to voice yourself is with a review in the App Store. So no matter all the other things that I've talked to people about, nothing holds as much weight as those stars under that app. So,
you're right. Yeah, I would say that and submitting a ticket. I don't think they care at all about Reddit.
Yeah,
that's not to be mean or anything. I just I don't think
it's a nice community for people to talk and discuss and stuff.
For players. Well, sometimes it's a nice
community. Well, yeah. I hope it subsides on the toxicity.
But yeah, I think if you really want to send a message to them, I think they even personally said whenever Casino did his visit that if you really want to try to escalate something and get us to be aware of things, submit a ticket. Yeah. And, if enough tickets are submitted about it, you bet your ass it's going to be escalated. And so I think that along with the star reviews, because that is a way that does directly affect them from a PR standpoint. Yeah. So, I think you're right.
So, and try to be constructive.
Yeah, don't just yell
into
the void
yell
about
into
it.
The void.
But be constructive. Give different ways that they could fix things, and don't just sound like you're angry and wanting to yell at someone, because otherwise people are automatically going to disregard you anyways. Yeah, and you want people to heed your review, right? You want some kind of intellectual response to this.
Yeah. So for me personally, I think they fixed a lot when it came to Rocket compared to Ant-Man. And hopefully that's kind of, that's the trend that they end up going towards. So.
I mean, it's certainly, I think the outcome's going to be about the same. Yeah. But it certainly feels better. And I 100% agree with that. Yeah. So,
and I'm all about the feels, baby. So.
All right, well, let's go ahead and hit the next topic.
All right, so the level cap has officially increased to 65.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm sure a lot of people were getting annoyed at their XP not contributing towards anything.
Ugh. So I guess I'm hoping that the reason why they just kind of let that be was because they knew 65 was coming soon.
Yeah.
So they're just like, we don't need to address this right now. Like, we have other things going to be. Like, don't worry, it's temporary.
Yeah. And hopefully they stay ahead of that. So, you know,
Yeah.
they release level 70, you know, before that really starts becoming a problem.
Yeah, like keep up with it when the majority of the population, not the majority,
but a good chunk of the population is starting to get, you know, bored.
Maybe even just when like the majority of initial launch players get to this point, then soon after, it'll get to the next point.
Now, and with that level cap increase comes a upgraded basic ability and a upgraded passive.
That's right.
And those are going to require orange mats.
Yes.
So, which
a lot of
orange mats. I think it was 200.
200 for the passive, I believe.
And then 180 for the. Is it 180 or?
For the basic, it is 180 orange shards.
Nice. And you'll be able to get those shards with the release of the 65 raid.
Yes.
So I know a lot of people are excited for that finally, and I'm hoping that they drop a substantial, you know, more purple mats.
Purples, yes.
And hopefully they include blues in that as well, because I do see a blue drain taking place if
because there's a disconnect.
Well, the thing is right. So the level 65 raid, it's going to cost more tickets to launch it, and so you're maybe instead of launching a raid every day, you're launching a raid every day in 4 hours or day in 5 hours, right? And the problem is that you're not going to want to drop tickets on the lower raid to get blues, and you're still going to need blues to get your abilities upgraded on other characters.
I agree. Yeah.
So hopefully they do include blues in this, but you know, it's up in the air
this
right
is
now.
Super selfish of me, but I have like 1,400 blues, and they will eventually run out. I don't even want to know how many greens I have.
Yeah, I haven't looked at how many greens I have. So.
But if I had to
I know
choose
I'm sitting
between,
at like 500 right now.
Yeah, if I had to choose between more purples or blues, purples, and oranges, then I would choose purples and oranges only.
Well, yeah, that's because you have.
But
yeah,
that's why I said I prefaced it with it's super selfish.
You see the trajectory.
I do. I see there being like a disconnect, and you're not going to be able to farm those unless you do that specific grade, and that's going to throw you behind.
Yeah, and then you're going to have to convince the other guys to.
Yeah, and then if you find selfish bastards like me, then they're not going to want to do it because they're going to say "fuck you."
so yeah, hopefully, just to avoid conflict, that they include blues on that 65 raid. So
yes.
But yeah, that's where you'll be getting those orange mats. It takes a lot. I'm sure I have no idea how much it's going to cost in gold wise to upgrade those abilities, but I'm sure it's going to be a pretty penny. So just prepare yourselves, prepare your bodies, guys. So, but these passives and these basic abilities are huge. Like
for some characters,
yeah. Well, those are the characters that I've been paying attention to, like Yondu and
someone made a list of the really good ones. But at the top of the list was, surprisingly, but also not so surprisingly, Yondu. Because they have like a weird fetish of making Yondu the best character in the game.
Exactly.
But yeah, so his increases are absolutely amazing.
He auto clears a positive effect from two separate people. Yeah.
And copies.
He copies it,
copies.
at the beginning of his turn. So
that's amazing.
Yeah, incredible.
And then on his ultimate,
his basic,
on his basic rather, he gets an extra 40% damage to primary target and 5% piercing, which is great because
monstrous.
If you look at level 3 and level 5, that's 5% piercing upgrade alone. Yeah. This one you get damage and an extra 5%.
Yeah. And it looks like this is where the late game's really going to start coming in, and I foresee a lot of comps starting to creep up that were not considered viable or exciting in the past. Yeah, I think one of those for me personally, and this is if they end up doing this because they changed the data mine initially when it came to Groot said you would get double death proof at level 7. Mm-hmm. On his special. Now, I think that'll release at level 66, maybe 67 or something. What was the?
It'll release on the next
release
level increase. Yeah,
but you get double death proof on your entire team. Suddenly, that mediocre Groot starts looking really, really powerful. So, be on the lookout for that. Research some of your favorite characters and see what that level increase means for them. So because they may get stuff that you weren't even thinking about. So But Yondu being an example of that, so that's crazy. Yeah,
yeah, because I mean that really is like it could shift the meta depending on who gets what added to their special, or their ultimate.
For me, and I know Thanos is kind of in like a spot. He's not a demi or a god, but I am a Thanos fan, and his passive goes from 75% chance to generate ability on a kill to 100% chance.
Yeah.
So every time he gets a kill, he's distributing energy to adjacent cosmic allies.
Yeah, every time that protector gets a kill.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Hey. Let me have it, okay? So,
all right, well, next
thing is balance improvements. And we got a message. We don't know exactly what the balance improvements are going to entail.
Yeah.
But
and keep in mind, it's balance improvements. That
it's not a rework or anything.
Well, yeah, and it also doesn't necessarily mean buff only.
Yeah, no, it could be a nerf. Yeah, we just don't know about it.
Yeah.
But it's going to be Thanos, Spider-Man, and Vision are all going to get addressed. We have a feeling they're going to get slight buffs. In Thanos, for me personally, I want him to be slower because I feel like his taunt doesn't last long enough. So some people would see that as a nerf, but for a protector, it comes across as a buff.
Right.
But yeah, that's on the horizon. So be on the lookout for that. And
I'm expecting a damage buff or a little bit of a slow, or maybe both.
Yeah.
Or like him being a little slower, I should say, not him having a slow. And then for Vision. I haven't really messed around with Vision too much. I have him, but I hate Vision with a passion. So
thematically, not specifically the character in the game.
That has bled over into this game, and so now I don't think I've looked at it since I've got him.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I don't know. But I'm guessing, realistically, I'm guessing he's getting a buff because I know that he is kind of underpowered in comparison to others. Yeah. Although he does have some good utility. Spider-Man, I think, which we were just talking about recently. Spider-Man is in a particularly interesting spot because with his kit in the hands of AI, he is absurdly good.
He's a god. It's insane.
Yeah, you just can't hit him because the luck percentage for them is, of course, magnified.
Yeah.
But with us, it's just he seems kind of lackluster because although his damage is good and his utility is good, like one hit and you're almost dead.
Yeah.
So his survivability is definitely damaged.
And from a game perspective, you don't want characters that are only viable in a single position. Ideally, you have characters that have a couple options on their belt.
Yeah. So, I just don't like the idea of only being able to use this person on defense because AI plays.
Yeah. Like I'm putting Kingpin on defense, but I know I can take him into an offensive, battle and do just fine with him. Where Spider-Man, it's a little more hit or miss because I know that dodge chance is not going to play out like it does for the AI.
Exactly.
So, but
I mean, there's times whenever it'll be like 6 attacks in a row and it'll dodge it every single time, and I'm just like, there goes all of my ultimates. Yeah. Thank you.
Well, and that's the thing is I don't even use ultimates on Spider-Man anymore.
I mean,
hopefully Gamora's still alive and she'll get a couple bonus attacks off. That'll
I mean, there's particular situations though where you like have to get rid of him. Like, and so it's like, please, like, you use your ultimate, like, and just like, please, just take care of him.
Yeah.
Like, make sure it goes through. But
so hopefully they address the disparity between the AI and the live play when it comes to Spider-Man. So, and if they do that, then I think Spider-Man's going to be in a real nice spot. A scary spot, to be honest, because he's at the tip of being really strong, and if that dodge chance increases at all, like it could be make or break with him.
Yeah, so I would even personally be okay with sacrificing a bit of damage for
the dodge,
health, or armor.
Oh, I see. What
just to make him be able to survive a little more, because in my hands,
I just don't see the dodge being satisfying. So in my mind, I'm like, I just want the dodge to do what it's supposed to do.
Well, in my hands, but it's super satisfying for the AI. Well, you can never hit.
And that's the thing is, I think it should be. I'd be willing to sacrifice a little bit of damage on his ult or something like that if his dodge did come in clutch a little bit more. So. But that's a scary prospect.
But yeah, because if you increase the dodge for you, it's going to increase it even more so for the AI, and that's why it's
and that's the thing is I'm what I'm arguing for is that they increase it for live play, but keep it where it is for AI.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah,
but that's.
I mean, I think certain characters are going to have to,
you're right.
Looked under
maybe
a
that
magnifying
has to be the
glass
case for some people.
Yeah,
but Yeah, I don't. Either way, he's in a particularly interesting spot that a lot of other characters don't have to deal with.
Yeah. So yeah, those are the balance improvements that are coming in.
Right.
So be on the lookout for that. I'm excited for Thanos in particular. I know a lot of people are excited for Spider-Man, especially we've got a couple of Spider-Man fans on our Discord. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then the next thing that's coming up is the Space Ace event, which features Star-Lord. So. I'm super excited about this. I've been working real hard trying to get people up to 5 stars. I've got 3 Guardians to 5 stars, and then Yondu I'll have at 4 stars probably by tomorrow. And then my Ravager Boomer, my poor Boomer, he's at like 3 stars right now. So I'm trying so hard to get him up there. But I think I should be able to get everyone to 4 stars for this event. But I don't think I'm going to get Star-Lord by the end of the event, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So, but this kind of event, it's just like Iron Man.
Yeah,
and
I like these.
I expect this to come back maybe 2 or 3 times more before the end of the year. So
Yeah.
I'm not too worried about not being able to get Star-Lord. So
Yeah, and these events are very similar to Star Wars Galaxy of Hero events,
Yeah.
and I like those. Maybe it's just because I'm familiar with them.
Mm-hmm.
But I do like the fact that it's just very easy. It's a straight line kind of thing. There is no RNG to it.
Yeah.
It's just, you get it. If you have the points, you get it kind of thing. Or if you have the stars, you get it.
And I know a lot of people are upset because they go, oh, I don't want to have to invest a bunch of time and resources into like a Ravager Boomer or something like that. And I think what people have to realize is that as this game progresses, there's going to be factions that people start finding themselves in, right? Mm-hmm. So it's going to be, like for me personally, like I'm a big Guardians of the Galaxy fan. I'm going to be investing a lot in a Guardians team. And I know there's a lot of people that are go, well, I'm going to be investing in an Avengers team. And I think what the game is doing, because of all this content that's coming out, you're going to have to pick. You can't just go like, oh, I have to have it all. Like you can, but you're going to have to spend time and resources on the teams that you want to, right? I think everyone should be able to get the characters, obviously, but I think you're going to have to sit down and start focusing on certain teams and start picking and choosing what you want to actually focus on. So
I mean, I disagree to a point. I think that you don't have to focus on a particular faction, but I mean, focusing on particular team comps, yes. But I don't think you have to focus on a particular faction.
Faction, team comps, see that as interchangeable.
I see it more closely related to something like a hand team, where like the minions there are, granted, they're a little more useful than some of the other minions.
Yeah.
But standalone, they're not that useful. But in a nice hand team comp, you have a sure to win team for Blitz, and they're very powerful.
Yeah.
And so I think whenever we have more characters of each faction come out, then it can really help to have those characters up. Not to mention, we already know that Flash events are almost certainly coming for every single faction at some point.
Yeah. Well,
so it'll be nice to always have those available to keep getting rewards whenever they come out.
Yeah, and what I'm saying is like, it's going to get to a point because it requires so much to get characters to 6 or 7 stars. So, how many events have we had? We have the Merc event, we've got the Hand event, we've got the Ravager Guardians event that's coming up. Like eventually you're going to have to go, like I have to push this one to the back burner. I'm going to focus on this one. And, me personally, the way I'm looking at it is I'm going to be planning for the next Ravager event. Like, so, my Merc team, don't get me wrong, I'd love to get more and more gold with the Merc team. But, I want to make sure I get my Guardians and my Ravagers up so that way I can secure Star-Lord and then go from there.
Yeah, I mean, you got to base it on what you love.
Yeah.
Or what you want more.
Exactly. So don't feel upset if you can't get everyone up to 5 stars immediately like these whales are doing. So
yeah, honestly, I would be kind of upset and bored if I just got them all up at the very first time that they came around, and then I'm like, now I have nothing to strive for.
Yeah, now I just auto win whenever it comes up. Kind of thing. So, but it's it's one of those things. As more and more content comes out, you're going to have to kind of pick and choose your battles.
Yeah.
So,
luckily, I am going to be able to get Star-Lord most likely. Probably.
Is you getting your Stitcher up to 5 stars?
Yeah, my Stitcher and my Boomer is already 4 with some change.
And that's another thing is Star-Lord is going to take 310 shards, and that would be the 5-star complete on his event. So yeah, you will have to have 5 stars.
Yeah, because originally he was
180.
He was poised to be less. Yeah. 180. So. But yeah, unfortunately now. 5 stars.
5 stars. So.
But, it is what it is. I didn't get Iron Man. I'm not too upset about it.
No, he's going to be back around a bunch of times.
Yeah.
And the other thing, too, is Star-Lord's not considered, God tier right now, so I wouldn't get, too upset.
It's much less of a hit to not get Star-Lord than it was not getting Iron Man.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Yeah. So that event starts on July 13th and goes till July 21st. So we've got about 7 days to go ham on that. All right. And then after that, do we have a date for this next event?
Which?
So the next event, is the hand event. So,
yeah.
And that's just like Star-Lord event and Iron Man event. It's gonna and the Merc event. It's gonna require.
Yeah, it starts in 5 days.
Yeah, it's gonna require hand team.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully you guys have your hand sentries and all ready and upgraded and whatnot.
I'm ready to go on that
one. But yeah, and that one will reward you with catalysts.
Yeah.
So, I saw the first reward. That one's just basic catalysts. And do you know when they start giving you purple catalysts?
I don't. No one knows.
No one knows yet.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're hoping. Everyone is hoping that you get a bunch of purple catalysts because I'm not sure if you've seen, but people that have Gear 11 stuff, Gear 11 to Gear 12 purple catalyst, you're looking at for someone like Cap, I think it's 140 or something like that.
Oh my god.
So you need a lot.
Yeah.
So I'm really hoping that these things give me, I don't know, maybe 40 purple catalysts or 50
that'd
per
be
clear would be nice.
Oh, I can tell you right now, that's not going to happen. So.
Yeah.
I thought you were talking about by the end of the event. I'm like, yeah, you probably get them by the end of the event. But yeah, so if you're desperate for catalysts, hopefully you've got an upgraded hand team.
Yeah.
And now you know for the future when that catalyst event comes back around, if you to invest in your hand team, and you'll have a strong lineup and be able to farm some catalysts that you're in desperate need for.
Yes.
So, but yeah, so that's it's the reason why they launched the hand orbs, so people can get ready for the hand event. All right, and then the next bullet is we were going to address the Reddit community complaints.
Yeah, we've already kind of touched on that. But
we did a whole debate, episode about it and whatnot. And I think the main thing for me personally is, if I'm one of those people, if something's bothering me, and Hebrew will attest to this, there's many things that trigger me that should not trigger me, but
too many.
But if it is bothering me to an extent to where I'm angry, then I walk away because I tell myself oh, this is not healthy for me at this point.
He might mutter some things while he walks away, but he walks away.
Yeah. But yeah, and I see a lot of toxicity, a lot of people make a lot of strong points regarding these events that are taking place.
A lot of hate towards
casino. Yeah, there's a lot of
and mobile gamer.
Yeah, a lot of toxicity towards individuals that, we have to take people for their word, and I understand, there's shilling that takes place and stuff like that, but, if casino and mobile gamer tell you that they're not shilling, and they, later on we find out that they are, that compromises their entire career.
Yeah, it's their integrity that they lose.
Yeah.
But until that, we realistically... They hyped the event because they were really, in my opinion, this is all my opinion, but they hyped the event because they were excited about these characters from what they saw. I don't think that they knew how controversial this whole thing was going to be, and I just think that they were fans of the characters whenever they saw them. Granted, they even said, I believe, that they had only seen a limited amount. Granted, a large portion, but they didn't get to see everything of how everything was going to play out, and I think that people were really overreacting to how much they, oversold, quote unquote, this event and everything. I think that they were just excited for something, and they weren't quite on point this time.
And I agree. If you have issues with the game, voice your issues, but keep it constructive, and remember, we're all adults here. Well, I know the majority of us are probably adults, spending money on it and playing the game, but even if you're not an adult, just act like an adult.
Actually, I wonder what the age,
the
demographic breakdown would be here. But I'm sure it's a little bit of everything. But
yeah. But just people are people, man. You can't there's no reason to hate someone over a video game.
Yeah. I don't think corporate conspiracy is something that's really creepy over here yet, at least.
So, but we're not dealing with EA guys, okay? Come on.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that just in general, like what we mentioned earlier, if you have problems, I think the best way to really communicate it to the developers is in-game support tickets and reviewing on iTunes for the app or Google Play. Anything like that, and just lower that star rating down and they'll get the hint. Yeah,
let the free market decide.
Exactly. Let the people decide.
But I think the main thing to take away from us talking about this right now is just try to be cordial human beings.
Yeah, let's be a little more respectful.
Let's just be cool, man. Be cool.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, everyone's an asshole sometimes.
Yeah, I am an asshole a lot of times.
All the time.
Yeah. But I still try to acknowledge when I am an asshole, and then try to make it up and be cool afterwards.
Yeah, it's just basically like we shouldn't at least have these knee-jerk reactions when everything comes out, or the second anything comes out, and just automatically go to this is the worst.
Yeah.
We need to just this game is still in its infancy. I know that they've done some things wrong, and I know that some things seem weird and unfair, and some of it is legitimately, but let's give them cut them a little slack and just go with the flow.
You guys know our thoughts. We're going to leave it there.
Yeah.
So, but yeah. So that leads us to our character deep dive, which I'm super excited about. Okay, just to kind of preface this, I binge watched Luke Cage. Mm-hmm. I binge watched Daredevil season 1 and season 2, The Defenders, and I'm in the middle of The Punisher right now. But I wanted to, because I know Luke Cage season 2 released, I think was it last week or the week before?
Yeah, 1 or 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, and I wanted to catch up on everything and make sure I was in the know. And I got to say, I'm really impressed with the series. Like, it's been super fun. I love all the characters; they're great. All the actors, I think, were just spot on pick for them.
We could do a whole episode on them one time as a bonus episode.
Oh yeah. No, I strongly recommend it. If you haven't watched any of the Marvel series on Netflix, take the time, sit down, and watch those series because they're a ton of fun. There's some flaws in it, but it's for. I did watch Iron Fist.
That's right, you did. Yeah.
There are some characters in that show that I absolutely love. I thought they were amazing.
But then you can't. I'm just in case you can't hear me rolling my eyes.
but yeah, no, there was that was probably the weakest one out of the bunch. But I'm hoping that they get some take a little more time in the writing room on the next time.
Yeah, Irish would be okay if they just deleted everything from that series besides Howard, right?
I love
Harold.
Harold, he's so good, dude. Like he's just he is like the epitome of a comic book villain in my opinion. Like he's just so good. He's so good.
All right, well, yeah, let's
anyways,
get on.
Luke Cage, all right?
Luke Cage.
I've got him pulled up right here, so let me go ahead and take a look at him. So, kind of, his summary is he's an extremely tough, taunting protector with high damage and health. If you've seen the show, you know he is bulletproof. And he often just stands in front of people to protect them. It's pretty great.
There we go.
Yeah, he is the immovable object.
Yes.
So, I love him.
Where's the unstoppable force?
Good question. I haven't decided which one that's going to be yet.
Who would be? Well, whatever.
Actually, Iron Fist. He would probably be as far as the Defenders, are concerned.
Yeah,
so
right.
Like, I mean,
throw him a bone.
Throw him a bone. So, he's a hero, city, bio, protector, and defender. So he does get that defender tag.
Yep.
So you put him on a team with Jessica Jones and Iron Fist and Daredevil.
You have a somewhat decent team.
So, but yeah. So let's go and start with his basic ability. It's called Beat Up. He attacks primary target for 290% damage, and these are all rank 6. So 290% damage, 30% chance for a hero ally to assist. Actually, we should probably, when it comes to doing these now, because they haven't updated it on the website, but in the game they have updated the to level 65. So I'm wondering what that adds to Luke Cage's primary attack. Oh, it just adds another 40%. So at rank 7, he gets 330% damage,
right,
and 30% chance for a hero ally to assist. That's pretty nice, pretty straightforward for a protector.
Yeah, the assist is nice. Everything else is
Yeah, I mean, he's not doing too much damage. It's not bad damage at all, but it's not, crazy amount either.
Yeah, certainly not crazy.
So, but yeah, let's go ahead and move on to a special ability. It's called Bring It On. He taunts for 2 turns and regenerates for 2 turns. Oh, wow. And I haven't fully upgraded to that, so I haven't noticed that. And then he clears 2 negative effects from self. So this is, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, this is probably one of the better taunts in the game, next to Drax.
Mm-hmm.
So the fact that he clears, so if he's got a defense down, he's going to clear that defense down, which is super nice. I can't tell you how many times I've had a Spider-Man hit my Thanos and then I taunt and they just eat through me. So Luke Cage is going to be able to avoid stuff like that.
Yeah,
so,
I mean, 2-turn taunt is big. I mean, realistically, like, he is a really good tank.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's for reasons like this.
Yeah. So, and that takes 4 energy, and it starts off with 4 energy right off the bat, so he can use it immediately.
Yeah, usually, at least I certainly do, but I always do my ultimate ability, and then I do my special, my taunt. But,
his ultimate ability is super cheap as well, so let's go and move on to that. So his ultimate ability is called Unbreakable, and he gains defense up on self for 2 turns, and he applies defense up on all allies. He gains death proof on himself, and he generates 1 to 2 ability energy for random allies. So that's packed with a bunch of little perks there.
Yeah,
so
you get a lot of stuff.
Defense up on everyone, twice for himself.
Yeah.
And then he gets the death proof on himself. You have that. I mean, you're going to be able to stack that with his taunt because the taunt lasts for 2 turns.
Yeah, you'll get a round overlap. With
it. So, and that starts off available immediately with, and it takes 5 energy to proc it again.
Yeah,
so,
and just the fact that he's an ability generator as well, like that's a pretty big plus too.
Yeah, you put him with Jessica Jones and you probably get a pretty crazy little loop going. So of energy.
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, so that summarizes his ultimate ability, Unbreakable. His passive ability, I'm going to pull it up on my
for the new
app.
Stuff.
Yeah. Okay, it just adds 5% max health. So he gains 5% max health per defender ally, and then he gains 5% armor and 10% max health. So when he brings it up to 5, so he gains 5% max health per defender ally. So if he's got 3 other defenders with him, hopefully they make Night Nurse a defender. But but in the meantime, got 3, so he can gain 15% max health just on his turn, and then he gets 5% armor, and then he gets 15% max health on top of his regular health. So not as a regenerative stat. So just on a base health. So, but yeah, overall, Luke Cage, he is the unstoppable force as far as I'm concerned. He's a monster. Just the generating ability energy for random allies is great. And what are your thoughts, Hebrew?
Well, yeah, I think that overall he is a very good tank. I think he's an underrated tank. Yeah. I just think that he doesn't, there's so many good tanks in this game, especially with Captain America right now with his broken ass.
Yeah, that's wrong.
So yeah, you can very easily overlook him, and unfortunately, not unfortunately, but he is tagged as a defender. So you really want to bring him that synergy with the defenders team.
Yeah.
But it's just the other characters aren't really up to par. Daredevil's good, of course. Jessica Jones is good in her own right, but Iron Fist is really the weak link there.
Yeah,
for sure.
And I am hoping that as time goes on and the content releases kind of steady out, that they'll come back, loop back around to the defenders and give them some love. Yeah. Because a full defenders team would be super cool to be able to level up and stuff like that. So
yeah, and I think that as far as he's concerned on his own with a different comp, you build the right team around him, and it's going to be a monster team.
Yeah, yeah.
Right now, I actually have him with Cable, Deadpool, Thor, and Hawkeye, and I know that sounds weird. But
I don't think it sounds. You got a Bruiser, a Blaster.
It kind of fits the bill, but you would think, all right, Hawkeye with the Avengers, with my Avengers team and everything, but I already have my Avengers team. Well, it's kind of a mix and match of Avengers team right now because of I'm exploiting the Captain America buff a little bit.
Yeah. And I'm hoping that they address that, because that just, immediately like my Thanos just does not stack up to Cap, and I have Thanos 5K more than Cap right now, and I'm just kind of like,
For some reason.
Well, I thought that would make him better, but apparently not so much. You know, but yeah, no, that energy. Like, there's been multiple times now I've gotten taunts off, like 2 or 3 taunts off in a row. Yeah. And I'm just like, what is going on? This doesn't make any sense. Like, he does feel like broke to me, and I'm surprised Fox Next hasn't addressed it at all, because it's just, it feels exploitative. So. Right.
Yeah, it definitely does. Yeah. Because I don't even like that I'm doing that, but it's just kind of like what I got to do.
You got to survive.
I got to play the game. Yeah. But I have them on it's at, I think in total like a 95K team or so, maybe a little less, more like a 90 team. But yeah, they're very good together. They really kind of fit the bill, and him as the tank, he does a really good job at protecting everyone. You know, you get that as long as you do your Unbreakable, I think it's called, for his ultimate. Yeah. As long as you throw that down, a lot of big meta characters right now have their level 2 specials. Yeah. So you can block off tons of people's level 2 specials with that defense up, AoE. So same kind of reason as you have for Cap. Yeah. So yeah, it's just a really good tank, can survive. The only weak link, which does kind of fix itself a little bit whenever you upgrade that Unbreakable to its max
Rank
level,
6,
is that you get that overlap with that taunt, because otherwise it's kind of frustrating to have a taunt on yourself after you use your defense up. Yeah. So because then it's like, all right, attack me even though I'm vulnerable. Yeah. So, but yeah, either way, very good tank, overlooked for sure, worth leveling up, because once you get past the first like 4 tanks or so, there's not much left. Yeah. Yeah. So I guess 4 or 5 tanks. Yeah. So.
Yeah. But anyways, so that wraps up Luke Cage, and let's go ahead and end the show with our question of the day.
Question of the day.
So I don't know if anyone or if you guys have seen this, but there was a data mined future character silhouettes that was released recently. A lot of the characters were, repeats of the prior data mine, but these actually included some of the silhouettes. And the question is out of those silhouettes, who are you most excited for and why? So Hebrew, you want to take it?
Yeah, for me, it's going to be She-Hulk.
She-Hulk.
I've personally never, even though I know a decent bit of comic book history, the She-Hulk factor I've never seen anything with it.
It's fresh for you.
Yeah, so I think that's cool. I think that's interesting, and I'm really excited to see what her kit's going to be. And I just want her to be in the game. It's about time.
It's about time. No, I'm super excited for She-Hulk. I'm interested to see their interpretation of her. So
yeah, I hopefully she's better than Hulk. That's my only thing.
Yeah. My out of all the silhouettes, and I'll go through just the main ones, right? So in case anyone else doesn't know, but there's Abomination, Black Bolt, Claire Temple, which was confirmed to be Night Nurse. Yes. Falcon, Iron Patriot, Mantis. Let's see, Red Hulk, yeah. Rhino, She-Hulk, Venom, War Machine, and Yellow Jacket from the first Ant-Man movie. Yeah. So before I give my answer, I'm going to throw a theory out there. I think they're going to release Yellow Jacket, probably maybe in a blitz near the end of the Wasp event, just to kind of have it all.
I could see in a
together.
Blitz. I could see in a blitz potentially coming towards the end.
But that'd be cool, and his silhouette looks awesome, looks great. So I'm super excited for Yellow Jacket. But the person I'm most excited for out of this group is Mantis. I have a feeling, and this is just me predicting, that she will have a dispel or a positive buff clear. Yeah. That's something that is missing from the Guardians team currently, in my opinion. It's just,
and it definitely is, because that's a killer in this meta, especially.
Yeah. So hopefully Mantis has a dispel, but I love the character Mantis. I think she's going to be great. I think she'll be a cool. I don't see her being anything else besides a controller, maybe a support. But
support or controller.
Support controller. Sure. Hopefully she has some cool sleep ability. Yeah. And I pray to God she's got a dispel on there too. So I really need a dispel on the Guardians team. So, yeah. But yeah, no, I'm super excited for that, and we'll post the link in our Discord if you guys want to take a look at the picture. Yeah. And let us know if you're excited for any of those guys. So
I also just want to just quickly go over, just because I know that we mentioned it earlier to each other. So Irish thought that Yellow Jacket might be coming in the event that they found in the data mine, or that they had mentioned. We don't know if this is happening 100% yet.
Yeah.
But they had mentioned something in the data mine about some event where you use Wasp and Ant-Man coming after the two events, right?
Oh, yeah.
And so, we're not sure who that is. I would assume that it would have been, the bad guy in the Ant-Man movie.
Who's that?
Ghost, I think
Ghost,
is what her name is.
Yeah.
And so, but, we haven't heard of anything from her yet. She might be. I hope she is. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
But you were thinking it might be Yellow Jacket as like a throwback.
Yeah.
But I think a Blitz is a better option because it's a little odd to me that the previous villain would be for the current event.
Yeah.
But I could see it happening though.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I mean, these are different arcs. Like if you look at the campaign notes and stuff, like these are different things that are happening. They're
right.
not everything's intertwined with the MCU. So.
Right. Or it's just more brought about by the MCU.
Yeah. It's more like
catalyzed by it.
Yeah. Let's use the marketing of this movie to
right.
get people hyped. Right. So,
right.
But yeah. So. We're interested to see if you're excited for any of them. I know a lot of people are probably really excited for Red Hulk. So
yeah,
but I don't know if that's going to be like a revamp of current Hulk, like with a skin or something, or if it's just spicy red twist, or if it's just going to be a completely separate character, different, not Bruce Banner, or if it's going to be Bruce Banner but just in a different form, kind of like what they do with Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. I guess there's multiple like Han Solos and stuff like that, right?
There's different versions. Yeah.
So I have a feeling it's going to be that, but who knows? Be on the lookout. There's going to be a lot of exciting stuff for the future. So
yeah, I'm really excited, especially just knowing that those characters are in the pipeline for the game. I mean, granted, they're not 100% confirmed or anything, but knowing that they're at least in there as an idea, love it.
No, and that's the thing is, I was building the Guardians team, taking a look at everyone's abilities that they released recently,
right? And
I was just like, oh man, they really need Dispel. And then I thought to myself, I'm like, Mantis, she'd make good for a Dispel. And then sure enough, she shows up on this
it's like
data mine, and I'm like, man, get out of my head.
They got your phone bugged. Did we check to see if microphone is a permission?
My battery has been going down rather quickly.
Yeah,
so,
might be going on.
Yeah, must be hacked. So. But
I guess that does it for this week. Then we'll let you guys go. It's been a nice 55 minutes.
Yeah.
Actually, not that bad considering we had a lot of stuff this week.
Yeah.
So not so terrible. But anyways, go ahead and like, subscribe, favorite, comment, everything you can think
review.
Of that you feel like. If you enjoyed us, we really appreciate it. It helps us out a lot. But until next time, we will see you on the Power Core Podcast.
Peace.